We will make sure we destroy all their radio stations, all their networks, and every other station that is speaking the truth to power in Biafra land. This one are the part of the meeting that are being held in Osun State some couple of days ago, when the Yorubas are crying that the Igbos have taken over the media from them. Unlike in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that they're using propaganda to destroy the Igbo land. I can tell you for free of charge that the problem that Igbos are having today in Nigeria is not caused by Fulanis or the Hausas, but the Yorubas, whom the Igbos claim that they are their brothers, that they are working together. Kokoko, they are not with you. It was the Yoruba media who propagated that the 1966 coup of January 15, saying an Igbo coup, broadcast it. They are the one that said that Igbos killed Sadona and most prominent Hausas in that coup. It is Yoruba media houses because they are the one that is holding the media, courtesy of Awolowo and the rest of other Afonjas, or you can call them other betrayers in that Yoruba ethnic bigots. Now, after the meeting they held a couple of days ago, if you are on this media, if you are on social media, let me put it that way, you will find out that in terms of news now, in terms of giving people what they want, Enugu State, and Abia State have been on top of their game, countering every propaganda that have been sent out there, every bad narrative against the Igbos, against the Biafrans, the one that they can speak, and against every one that came from the southeast. These two states I mentioned now have been on their top game. Do you know what happens? They have, I don't know why our people are very easy to buy. They have buy people now. They set 3 radio stations on one day in Aba. Those radio stations is the one that have been countering. Now they are targeting other ones now in Aba, okay, let's say in Abia State and Enugu State, courtesy of Yoruba Ronu bigots. I don't say this without a very concrete evidence. Fire goes 3 Aba radio stations, destroys equipment worth millions in one day, in one night, not in one day, in one night. Can you tell me that this is ordinary? After the meeting that they had, that the Southeast have collected the media space from them, because the only thing that they know how to do now is propagating. Go and check all the whole radio stations. All the whole radio or TV stations that belong to the Yorubas now. What they are doing, their business now is bringing the news of the Biafrans, Simon Ekpa, Martin Namdekano on daily basis just to get views, or just to get subscribers, or just to get a sympathy that they are doing well, or they are with the Southeasterners. But they know what they are looking for. The other day, all the whole streets our people built during, after, and before the war in a Felodun, Ajoromi local government area of Ajegule, all have been deleted and put Yoruba names. In other words, they have told you, we don't want you. If you are claiming you love us, you don't love us. Igbos are claiming that they love Yorubas, but Yorubas in return are the one that keep on backbiting them. But our Igbo brothers have refused to learn, due to we are called the stiff-necked people. If you know the translation, or if you know what it means, drop it at the comment section. Even me, we talk, I don't know the meaning. It go shock you, Abi. Make it no shock you, we are going somewhere. Anyway, these are another part of the other headlines that we are going to dissect this morning. Here are other ones. Why you don't need to pray against your enemies? Adeboye. And I know say this our papa is always at the social media space. Not in a positive form, but always in negativity. Always in negativity. These are the people who will tell you that when somebody slap you on the right cheek, you turn on the left cheek. When something bad happened to you, you call on the God of Israelites. Now, Israel never called their God. They are using their weapons, missiles, and everything within their surroundings to make sure that they fight against their enemies. Now your pastor, who is always trending on negatives, is now telling you don't need to pray against your enemies. You need to love them. You need to even bring them together. You need to even chop ewedu, begiri, and what they call it, and agege bread with them together, according to Adeboye. Move her out. Look at the people who they sent to lead us. Umahi asked police to eject Tinubu supporter protesting property demolition. I want this shenanigans. Do you know when this woman brought out as a patron or matron of Tinubu's campaign council? Then the matter changed. Maybe he is sending that woman out simply because maybe he thinks that the woman is a Labour Party or what they call it, or APOGA or PDP. But when she said her as Ambodo, then our so-called minister, who is so arrogant, now mellow down. That means this government is only government of the APC. If you are not with the APC, then in totality they will turn against you. UNIZIK reject federal government's removal of new VC registrar, insists it followed approved guidelines. My people, this one and other headlines is what we are going to discuss this morning. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. Fire got 3 Aba radio stations, destroy equipment worth millions of nairas. A devastating fire raised 3 radio stations in Aba, Abia State on Saturday night, reducing electronic broadcasting equipment worth millions to ashes. The affected stations, Enyimba 94.3 FM, Rose 101.9 FM, and Legend 98.3 FM. Now they are targeting Afia TV. We are all located at off Margaret Avenue on the plaza axis of Aba Owerri Road in Aba North local government area of the state. Though the stations operate independently, they share the same building, which allow the fire to spread swiftly among them. The blaze was eventually contained by the Abia State Fire Service, preventing it from affecting nearby buildings. According to a staff member, the fire reportedly started in the television station of Enyimba TV and Radio Limited, the parent company for the 3 stations, before spreading to their other stations. While no lives were lost, the fire destroyed all broadcasting equipment. In an official statement, Enyimba TV and Radio Limited said it is investigating the cause of the fire and has temporarily suspended operations at the 3 stations to assess the damage and implement preventive measures. A firefighter from the Abia State Fire Service, speaking anonymously with the nation, urged business owners rather to invest in fire extinguishers and hydrants to help control fires in emergencies. The incident has left a significant void in Aba's broadcasting space, with listeners in the area waiting for further updates from the stations on resuming broadcast. Why you don't need to pray pray against your enemies? The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, has revealed why believers should stop praying against their enemies. Okute News report that Adeboye, while speaking at the church monthly Thanksgiving service held at the church national headquarters, Throne of Grace, Ibutemeta, Lagos, said only those with great destiny are being envied. While questioning believers on who will be around to celebrate their wins, the clergy said praying against one's enemies does not make sense, citing Psalm 23 verse 5. Speaking on the theme, Divine Wings, Adeboye said, it does not make sense praying against one's enemy. If you pray against your enemy, who will be around to celebrate you? And I ask you, if that your enemy kill you, then are you going to be alive? I mean, when are you going to be alive for them to celebrate you? That is the question that left for this old man who refused to reign. The Bible says they will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. We should not pray against them. Rather, we should pray that God will make them repent. When people are envious of you and speak evil against you, don't be bothered. You have to be great to envied. If you pray for your enemies' death, who will be around to celebrate you? Can you imagine this nonsensical nonsense? Sharing his experience, Adeboye said he had often wondered how God lifted and showed him mercy despite his extremely poor background, stressing that God is the only burden bearer who can make a man fly in his life. Pastor Adeboye also recounted how the president of an African country cherished his meeting with him. Which African country? Name it. Ndara. Adding that at the end of the meeting, he was amazed at how God had given him so much privilege. In his words, I went to an African country for a crusade, no name, and went to see the president of the country. I was told I could not see him, but when the president knew I was around, he offered to see me. I was with him and we kept talking. When it was 2 hours of meeting, I told him people were already waiting at the crusade ground for me. He said, let them wait. They have people they can talk with you. Me, I don't have. We ended up spending 5 hours. And people at the campaign ground waiting, right? That means your gospel now is for the president and for the riches. In case of people who don't understand what this thing means. He said they can wait. And you waited for 5 good hours. And the gullible followers are busy waiting for you for 5 good hours while you are busy truncating and junketing with the president. Move her out, arrogant David Umahi. Learn a lesson in a bigger way. Tensions ran high on Sunday during a public meeting in Victoria Island, Lagos, when the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, held an engagement season with stakeholders and homeowners whose properties were impacted by the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road Project. Umahi, joined by federal lawmakers overseeing infrastructural projects nationwide, opened the floor for questioning, inviting residents to voice their concerns. A woman who introduced herself as a supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023 election expressed frustration over the project's road, claiming that it had been diverted through her estate, resulting in the demolition of her properties. She asserted that her houses had all necessary government certificates and approvals. In response, Umahi accused the woman of mobilizing protests to obstruct the road project, an allegation which she firmly denied. The engagement comes amid rising tension over land use and property demolitions in the region, as homeowners call for a balance between development and property rights. You have been doing a lot to stop the project. Listen to me. If I get further disturbances from you, there will be consequences for it. We are following the law. You are free to go to court if we were infringing on your rights, Umahi said. When the woman didn't stop speaking after the microphone had been taken from her, the minister said security should move her out. I am a matron in Tinubu campaign organization that has over 5,000 members, the agitated woman retorted. Umahi further said his properties have been demolished for some road projects in parts of the country. Which project or which property? He said, while the case is going on, we plead for your cooperation so that whatever the court says, we will obey. But please, let nobody take laws into his or her hands. I plead with you, if you are offended by me or the ministry, please accept our apology. The coast highway must be on land, and where there are issues like cables, we will do a flyover, or refinery, we will do a flyover. In Port Harcourt, my property was also involved in the construction of East-West Road, totally demolished. In Aba, my property was also involved. Please bear with me and know that we have nothing to benefit or hide. The minister said the final designs will be produced, insisting that the shoreline belongs to the federal government. The beach side is not your land. The beach side belongs to the federal government as well. The last but not the least, UNIZIK rejects federal government's removal of new VC registrar, insists it followed approved guidelines. The management of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, has rejected the annulment of the appointment of new Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Bernard Odo, and its registrar, R.I. Nwokike. They want to remove them and bring in Fulanis and Hausas. That's exactly what they want to do, or Yorubas as well. The Federal Minister of Education had on Friday written the chairman of the Governing Council of the University, Ambassador Greg Mbadiwe, cancelling the council's recent appointment, insisting they did not follow existing guidelines. The letter, which was signed on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education, Mrs. R.A. Iliasu Oyausa, had ordered the council to shelve all appointments until the new Minister of Education assumes office. But in a reply to the letter, the registrar of the institution and secretary of the Governing Council, Nwokike, responded to the points raised by the ministry. She said, contrary to any assumption of a former engagement, the pro-councillor did not have an official meeting with the Minister of State for Education. Instead, informal discussions took place between the outgoing Minister of State and the Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe's University. In response to concerns regarding the absence of the ministry's representatives, certain internal council members and other stakeholders at the Vice Chancellor's appointment meeting on Tuesday, 29th of October 2024, we wish to clarify that all necessary protocols were observed, invitations were duly issued to all relevant parties, ensuring that everyone was informed and given the opportunity to attend. The meeting saw participation from representatives of the Federal Character Commission, external and internal council members, and various other stakeholders, demonstrating a broad representation of interest for further verification. Attached are the attendance register, photographs and documents, the proceedings, and copies of the official meeting notice sent to the stakeholders. Additionally, we confirm that the quorum was duly constituted in compliance with the statutory requirements outlined in the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Act, Cap of 139, as amended LFN 2004. Due process was meticulously observed throughout the selection and appointment process for both the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar. The suggestion of reconciling with aggrieved persons is not relevant to this procedural integrity. Of the 18 applicants for the position, 15 attended the initiative and score sheets were duly documented. The council, within the scope of its lawful authority, has fulfilled its mandate with transparency and adherence to the university's regulations. We appreciate your attention to this clarification and reaffirm our commitment to upholding the principles of due process and legal compliance. Since Tuesday last week, when the governing council appointed Odo, there have been mixed reactions of jubilation and protest among members of the university community. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, had also protested the credentials of the new Vice-Chancellor, contending that he was not qualified, disputing the claims that he had ascended to the position of a professor. So, my good people, anything you have to say, drop it at the comment section. We will discuss it there when the time is right. Make sure you keep liking, you sharing, you commenting. Most importantly, this message needs to go viral. The threat that Yorubas are carrying out, or they are issuing to the Biafrans, they are carrying it out on what do you call it? On a physical aspect part of it. But now we're standing, we are still winning the fight against the Zojurians and against the Afonjas. So keep on liking, sharing, commenting, and make sure you keep subscribing to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. My name is Sidiman Amandia Neze, reporting live from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. Kemesiano.